Wisdom seekers, welcome to a journey that will take us deep into the art of self-control, the strength of silence, and the unseen power of restraint. Imagine this. Every day we are told to smile, to be cheerful, and to radiate positivity. But what if there are times when this advice is misleading? What if there are moments when smiling, an act seen as universal kindness, could betray your inner strength, expose your vulnerabilities, or even alter the course of your interactions in ways that work against you? Today, we will unravel the layers of social conditioning and delve into the philosophy of Stoicism to understand why there are certain situations in life where not smiling can be your greatest weapon. This isn't about promoting negativity or shutting out the world. It's about mastering your emotions, preserving your power, and navigating life with a sense of intentionality that only true wisdom can provide. From confrontations to manipulations, from serious discussions to moments of loss, there are 10 situations where a smile is not just inappropriate, but can be a signal that you're not in control. This is a guide to recognizing those moments and embodying the inner strength that doesn't need to be masked with a grin. So, if you've ever felt the pressure to smile when it doesn't feel right, if you've ever wondered why some of the greatest minds in history practiced restraint in their expressions, then stay with me. Each of these 10 situations will open your eyes to a new perspective, drawing from ancient wisdom and modern realities, designed to make you rethink how you face the world. Wisdom seekers, your support means everything. Make sure to like and subscribe if you haven't yet, and consider using the thank you feature. Make a donation. Every like, subscribe, and donation helps us continue our mission of sharing knowledge. Let's dive into the first situation where your smile does more harm than good. Situation 1. In moments of confrontation. Confrontation. It's a word that often sends shivers down our spines. For many, it conjures images of raised voices, intense stares, and uncomfortable exchanges. Whether it's an argument with a friend, a dispute at work, or even a silent battle of wills, confrontations are as much a test of our inner fortitude as they are of our outward demeanor. Most people, when caught in these moments, instinctively smile, not because they find it amusing, but as a defense mechanism, a way to diffuse tension, signal peace, or sometimes simply to hide their discomfort. But let's dig deeper into why this response can be more harmful than helpful. Imagine this scenario. You're in a meeting, and someone unexpectedly challenges your ideas, questioning your competence in front of others. You feel the heat rising within you, and as a reflex, you crack a slight smile. You may think it's a harmless gesture, an attempt to keep things civil, but in the eyes of others, that smile could be interpreted as insecurity, plea for approval, or worse, an acknowledgement of weakness. The Stoics, masters of self-discipline and emotional control, understood that moments of confrontation are not just battles of words, but battles of presence. When Marcus Aurelius, the philosopher king of Rome, faced criticism or conflict, he didn't respond with anger, nor did he soften with a smile. Instead, he maintained a calm and composed demeanor, a signal to everyone around him that he was in full control of his emotions, and therefore the situation itself. He once wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." This profound understanding of self-mastery is crucial when facing confrontation. It's not about outshouting the other person or playing nice. It's about owning your reaction. Picture the difference. Two individuals are in a heated debate. One is smiling nervously, while the other stands firm, eyes locked, maintaining a neutral, focused expression. Who commands more respect? Who seems more in control? The answer is almost always the latter. By refusing to smile, you signal that you are not easily swayed, not interested in appeasing, and certainly not fearful. It's a stance of silent strength that doesn't require aggression, but instead embodies unshakable confidence. Confrontations are not just about winning or losing arguments, they are defining moments that reveal character. A smile, often seen as a gesture of submission, can subtly communicate that you are not entirely sure of your ground. Instead, the Stoic approach advises that in these situations, one must remain grounded, showing neither joy nor anger, but rather a serene presence, cannot be perturbed. This is where true authority comes from, not from overpowering others but from mastering oneself. Reflect on this. Marcus Aurelius led one of the most powerful empires in history, yet his writings are filled with reminders to remain composed, to not let the external chaos dictate internal calm. In his work Meditations, he often spoke of the importance of maintaining one's tranquility in the face of external pressures. He did not advocate for smiling in the face of adversity as a means of pacification, but rather staying steady and unyielding. This is the mark of a true leader, and it is something we can all aspire to in our own lives. So the next time you find yourself in a confrontation, resist the urge to soften the moment with a smile. Instead, focus on your breath, steady your gaze, and let your silence speak for you. There's immense power in holding back power that shows you are not afraid to confront what's before you, without the crutch of superficial pleasantry. This isn't about adopting a hostile stance, it's about preserving your dignity and commanding respect without uttering a single word. The world will often test you, wisdom seekers, and in those moments, your expression is not just a reaction, it's a message. Let your unbroken calmness be a testament to your inner strength. Situation 2. When facing manipulation. Manipulation is an art as old as human interaction itself. It's subtle, often disguised under layers of charm, guilt, or persuasive language, designed to bend your will without you even realizing it. You've likely encountered manipulators in your life, people who, with a few carefully chosen words or actions, try to steer you in a direction that benefits them. And often, they use smiles, flattery, and seemingly innocent gestures as their tools of choice. The question is, how do you respond? When you're being manipulated, the stakes are high, and the manipulator's greatest weapon is your own emotional response. They count on you to be agreeable, to soften, to give in without a fight. This is where many fall into the trap of smiling an automatic response that signals compliance and a desire to maintain harmony. But to the manipulator, your smile is more than just a friendly gesture. It's a confirmation that their tactics are working. Let's delve into a hypothetical situation. You're at work, and a colleague comes to you with a request that's clearly designed to benefit them far more than it benefits you. They start with a compliment. "You're always so reliable. I knew you'd be the perfect person to handle this." It's flattering, and instinctively you might smile. But that smile, however small, is more than just an expression. It's an invitation. It tells the other person that you're open to their influence, that you're flattered by their words, and that you're inclined to agree. The Stoics were acutely aware of the dangers of manipulation, and they practiced the art of maintaining a steady, unaffected demeanor. Seneca, one of the most profound Stoic thinkers, wrote extensively about the importance of controlling one's reactions to external influences. He cautioned against letting others dictate our emotional responses, urging us to stay vigilant and maintain our own sense of inner control. He famously stated, "We are more often frightened than hurt, and we suffer more from imagination than from reality." When facing manipulation, your imagination can be your worst enemy, creating scenarios that push you towards compliance out of fear of displeasing others or losing favor. Think of the manipulator as a chess player, always strategizing several moves ahead. They are watching your every expression, listening to your tone, and waiting for the slightest indication that you're falling under their spell. A smile is their first sign of victory. It's a small crack in your armor that signals you're not as firm in your stance as you'd like to be. Instead, when confronted with manipulation, adopt the demeanor of a seasoned poker player, calm, neutral, and unreadable. This doesn't mean you should respond with hostility or stone-cold indifference. In fact, the most powerful response is one of poised neutrality. Your goal is not to meet their tactics with aggression, but to deny them the satisfaction of reading you. Let your face be a blank canvas, one that gives nothing away. Your lack of a smile tells the manipulator that you're not impressed by flattery, not swayed by guilt, and certainly not an easy target. Consider the words of Epictetus. It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. In the face of manipulation, your reaction or lack thereof is your greatest defense. Composed expression tells the other person that you see through their charade, you are not easily influenced, and that you stand firm in your decisions. One powerful example comes from the life of Marcus Aurelius, who as a Roman emperor was constantly surrounded by advisors, politicians, and generals, each with their own agendas. Despite being one of the most powerful men in the world, Marcus never allowed himself to be swayed by sycophants or manipulative flatterers. He maintained a stoic, unflinching demeanor, one that kept those around him constantly guessing. He did not seek approval, nor did he offer it lightly. His power lay in his ability to remain true to his own judgment, uncolored by the attempts of others to manipulate his decision. In your own life, whether you're dealing with a manipulative friend, a demanding boss, or even subtle emotional coercion from those you care about, remember this: your composure is your shield. A smile, while often seen as a harmless gesture, can be a dangerous giveaway. It's a nod of agreement when you haven't fully considered the terms. Instead, keep your expression calm, your thoughts clear, and your responses measured. The Stoics believe that the true battleground is within the mind. Manipulators play on your fears, your desires, and your need for approval. By refusing to smile, you are reclaiming control of this battlefield. You are sending a silent but powerful message: I am not yours to influence. Let this be your mantra whenever you feel the subtle pull of manipulation at play. Situation 3. In moments of defeat or loss. Life is not a straight line. It's a winding path filled with triumphs and setbacks, moments of joy and seasons of despair. No one is immune to defeat. No one goes through life without experiencing loss. How we respond in these moments defines us far more than the losses themselves. Society often tells us to keep smiling in the face of adversity, to stay positive no matter what. While these sentiments might sound uplifting, they often encourage us to mask our true feelings rather than confront them. Stoicism, however, teaches us something profoundly different: the importance of facing reality with honesty, without the need for forced smiles or empty optimism. Consider a time when you faced a significant setback, failed business venture, a personal betrayal, or the loss of a loved one. The weight of these moments can be crushing, and the pressure to maintain a cheerful facade can feel overwhelming. But why do we feel the need to smile through our pain? Often it's because we fear appearing vulnerable. We worry that showing our true emotions will make others uncomfortable, or worse, that it will make us appear weak. But the Stoic perspective offers a different pathos that embraces the reality of suffering without embellishment or disguise. Epictetus, born a slave and later becoming one of the most influential Stoic philosophers, knew hardship intimately. His teachings emphasized the importance of distinguishing between what is within our control and what is not. He taught that our reactions, our inner state, are always within our power, even when external events are not. He is a wise man who does not grieve for the things which he has not, but rejoices for those which he has. Epictetus wrote, reminding us that our response to loss is where our true power lies. Imagine the scene. You've just received devastating news. Your first instinct might be to smile through it, to reassure those around you that you're okay, even when you're not. But in doing so, you deny yourself the right to fully process the moment. The Stoics would argue that there is a profound dignity in allowing yourself to feel, to absorb the reality of the situation without rushing to cover it with a smile. Marcus Aurelius, in his Meditations, often reflected on the transient nature of life, the impermanence of all things. He did not shy away from these thoughts. Instead, he used them as a reminder to live fully and authentically without pretense. In moments of defeat, your expression does not need to be one of false cheerfulness. It's okay to let your face show the weight of your experiences. This doesn't mean wallowing in despair. It means being honest with yourself and those around you. A neutral or contemplative expression can convey far more strength than a forced smile ever could. It tells the world that you are fully aware of your circumstances, that you are not afraid to face them head-on, and that you do not need to hide behind a facade of positivity. Think about the most resilient people you know. Are they the ones who constantly smile, even when things are falling apart? Or are they the ones who acknowledge their struggles, face them without flinching, and move forward with quiet determination. True resilience isn't about pretending everything is okay, it's about confronting reality with grace and fortitude. Seneca, who faced exile, personal loss, and political turmoil, often wrote about the importance of embracing adversity. He believed that hardship was not something to be avoided, but something to be met with courage and dignity. Difficulties strengthen the mind as labor does the body, he wrote, emphasizing that our challenges are what shape us into who we are. In moments of defeat, a smile can feel like a betrayal of your true self, a superficial response to a profound experience. Instead, let your demeanor reflect your journey. When you allow yourself to not smile in these moments, you give yourself permission to fully experience the depth of your emotion. You are not weak for feeling you are human, and by facing your losses without the crutch of a smile, you build a deeper connection with yourself. You honor your experiences, your struggles, and the lessons that come from them. The next time you find yourself in a moment of loss, remember this: you don't owe anyone a smile. Your strength lies in your authenticity. Let your expression be true to your heart, and in doing so, you reclaim the narrative of your own story. You are not defined by your defeats, but by your refusal to be broken by them. Situation 4. During moments of serious discussion. Serious discussions are the crossroads of life, moments where decisions are made, boundaries are set, and futures are shaped. Whether it's negotiating a deal, discussing personal matters, or making pivotal choices, these conversations demand a level of respect and attention that a smile can often undermine. A smile in the midst of serious dialogue can send mixed signals, suggesting a lack of focus, a desire to please, or even a dismissal of the gravity of the topic at hand. Picture this. You're in a boardroom, sitting across from someone who holds a significant amount of power over your next big move. The conversation is tense, every word calculated, every silence deliberate. You may be tempted to smile, thinking it will ease the tension or make you seem more approachable. But in reality, that smile might be your undoing. It can suggest that you're not fully committed, you're unsure, or that you're not taking the discussion as seriously as you should. Seneca's writings on the importance of presence and intentionality remind us that every interaction, especially the serious ones, is an opportunity to assert who we are and what we stand for. He advised that our demeanor should always match the context of the moment, not out of fear of judgment, but as a reflection of our own self-respect. Associate with people who are likely to improve you, Seneca wrote, and welcome those whom you are capable of improving. In other words, your presence, your very expression should add value to the interaction, not detract from it, with incongruous gestures like smiling when it's unwarranted. In serious discussions, your expression should be one of engagement and contemplation. This isn't about adopting a stoic, cold demeanor, it's about showing that you are fully invested in the moment. A composed, neutral face communicates that you are weighing every word, considering every angle, and not distracted by superficial pleasantry. You're there to contribute, to negotiate, to dissident, to placate, or entertain. Marcus Aurelius, whose life was filled with high-stakes decisions as Emperor of Rome, often found himself in discussions that would determine the fate of nations. He knew that every expression, every word, carried weight. Smiling in the wrong context could be misinterpreted as indecision or weakness. Instead, he maintained a steady, focused presence, one that commanded respect, without a single word needing to be spoken. His calm and serious demeanor became a symbol of his thoughtful leadership, one that didn't seek to appease but to authentically engage with the matter at hand. Imagine being in a serious conversation where the stakes are high. Maybe it's a job interview, a negotiation, or a difficult discussion with a loved one. Your demeanor sets the tone for how you are perceived. Smiling might seem like a way to bridge the gap, but often it can create a disconnect between the seriousness of the discussion and the way you're presenting yourself. Instead, let your expression reflect the weight of the conversation. A serious face doesn't mean a hostile one. It means a face that is present, that is engaged, that is fully in the moment. Philosophers like Epictetus emphasize the importance of being deliberate with your actions, including your expressions. First, say to yourself what you would be and then do what you have to do, he advised. In the context of serious discussions, this translates to aligning your outer demeanor with your inner intentions. If your goal is to be taken seriously, then your expression should mirror that intention. So the next time you find yourself in a serious discussion, resist the urge to smile out of habit or nervousness. Instead, ground yourself in the moment. Let your expression be a reflection of your commitment to the conversation. Your composed demeanor will not only help you maintain focus, but will also signal to others that you are fully engaged and deeply invested in the outcome. Remember, wisdom seekers, your presence is your power. In moments of seriousness, let your expression be an extension of your thoughts, steady, deliberate, and unyielding. Situation 5. When receiving criticism. Criticism is something none of us can avoid, whether it's constructive feedback at work, unsolicited advice from a friend, or even harsh comments from strangers. Criticism can sting. Our natural reaction, often rooted in discomfort, is to smile. We smile to mask our embarrassment, to appear unfazed, or to diffuse the awkwardness of the moment. But this instinctive response can send the wrong message, both to the critic and to ourselves. Let's consider a scenario. You've just finished a presentation, and someone offers feedback that's less than glowing. Smile politely, nodding along, but inside you feel a rush of defensiveness or even frustration. That smile might seem like a harmless gesture, but it can undermine your credibility. It suggests that you're not fully absorbing the feedback, that you're brushing it off, or worse, that you're more concerned with appearing agreeable than with actually engaging with the critique. The Stoic approach to criticism is one of self-reflection and measured response. Marcus Aurelius, in his Meditations, often reminded himself that criticism is an opportunity for growth, not an attack on his character. He advised that we should welcome feedback as a tool for self-improvement, but with a discerning mind. Not all criticism is valid, and not all critics have our best interests at heart. If someone is able to show me that what I think or do is not right, I will happily change, he wrote, for I seek the truth, which harms no one. In moments of criticism, your reaction speaks volumes. A smile can suggest that you're not taking the feedback seriously, or that you're more interested in keeping the peace than in honest self-assessment. Instead, adopt a thoughtful, receptive expression, one that shows you are listening, processing, and considering the merits of what is being said. This doesn't mean you have to agree with every piece of feedback, but it does mean that you respect the process enough to give it your full attention. Think of criticism as a mirror, reflecting not just the views of others, but also our own reactions. How we respond, whether with defensiveness, dismissiveness, or genuine openness, reveals much about our character. By maintaining a neutral expression, you convey that you are in control of your emotions, that you are open to learning, but not so easily swayed by every opinion that comes your way. Seneca, who was no stranger to public scrutiny and personal attacks, often wrote about the importance of maintaining one's composure in the face of criticism. He believed that criticism should be met with a calm mind, free from the need to please or retaliate. It is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more that is poor, he wrote, highlighting that our need for external validation often drives our reactions. In the context of receiving criticism, this craving can manifest as a forced smile and attempt to win approval even in uncomfortable moments. Instead, let your response be one of thoughtful consideration. Take a breath, maintain eye contact, and listen. Your expression should reflect your engagement, not your discomfort. This is the essence of Stoic, poise remaining steady and composed, regardless of external judgments. It's about valuing your own self-assessment above the fleeting opinions of others, while still remaining open to the lessons that can be learned from feedback. So the next time you find yourself on the receiving end of criticism, remember this: you don't owe anyone a smile. Your focus should be on what you can learn from the moment, not on how you're perceived. A neutral, attentive expression shows that you are in control, that you are confident enough to listen, and that you are committed to continuous growth. Criticism, when met with the right mindset, can be a powerful catalyst for self-improvement. Let your demeanor reflect your strength, your openness, and your unwavering commitment to becoming the best version of yourself. Situation 6. When others are mocking or testing you. In life, there will always be those who test your boundaries, who mock or challenge you, not out of genuine interest, but out of a desire to provoke. These moments can be deeply uncomfortable, pushing us to react in ways that betray our true feelings. One of the most common responses is to smile, an instinctive gesture that seeks to diffuse the tension or hide our discomfort. But in the realm of Stoic wisdom, such a response can signal submission, insecurity, or even approval of the mockery. Let's take a closer look at why smiling in these moments can be detrimental. Imagine you're in a social setting and someone makes a cutting remark at your expense, hoping to get a reaction. You might smile nervously, perhaps chuckle along, trying to signal that you're unfazed. But to the person testing you, that smile is a small victory. It tells them that their words have reached you, that you're affected enough to feel the need to respond, even if it's just with a smile. Epictetus, whose life was a testament to overcoming adversity, often spoke about the power of maintaining control over one's reaction. He believed that no one could truly harm you without your consent, and that includes emotional harm. If anyone tells you that a certain person speaks ill of you, do not make excuses about what is said of you, but answer, "He was ignorant of my other faults, else he would not have mentioned these alone." This profound insight highlights the Stoic belief that our response to mockery or testing is not about defending our ego, but about maintaining our composure. When someone tests you, they are looking for a reaction. A smile in this context is not the sign of confidence we often think it is. It's a subtle admission of discomfort. Instead, the Stoic response is one of unshakable calm. You don't need to engage, defend, or smile. Your silence, your steady gaze, and your lack of visible reaction are far more powerful than any forced smile could ever be. Think of it this way. Those who mock or test are often seeking validation for their own insecurities. They thrive on the reactions of others, using them as a measure of their own influence. By refusing to smile, you deny them that validation. You stand as an unmoved pillar, unshaken by petty jabs or attempts to provoke. This isn't about being cold or indifferent. It's about maintaining your inner peace in the face of external nonsense. Marcus Aurelius, a man constantly surrounded by critics and sycophants, understood the importance of this stance. He didn't allow himself to be drawn into the games of those around him. Instead, he maintained a composed, dignified presence, one that did not waver in the face of mockery, challenge. He once wrote, "Best revenge is to be unlike him who performed the injury." This simple yet profound statement encapsulates the Stoic approach to being tested. Do not lower yourself to the level of those who seek to undermine you. In moments where others are testing or mocking you, let your lack of a smile be your statement. It tells the world that you are not here to entertain, to appease, or to be swayed by the trivialities of others. Your focus is on maintaining your own standards, your own sense of self, untouched by the provocations of those around you. Remember, wisdom seekers, your power lies not in how you react to the world, but in how steadfastly you hold to your own principles. In the face of mockery, maintain your calm. In the face of testing, stand firm. Let your unbroken demeanor be a testament to your strength. Situation 7. In times of grief. Grief is one of the most profound experiences of the human condition. It's a testament to our capacity to love, connect, and to feel deeply. Yet when faced with the raw pain of loss, society often pressures us to keep smiling, to show that we're coping, we're strong even when we feel anything but. However, Stoicism teaches us that true strength lies not in masking our emotions, but in confronting them with honesty and courage. When you lose something or someone dear to you, the last thing you should feel compelled to do is smile. Yet, the pressure to appear okay is immense. Friends, family, and even strangers may offer well-intentioned but misguided advice. Stay positive, keep your chin up, or the classic pass, just keep smiling. But what if the most authentic, powerful response to grief is not to smile, but to allow yourself to feel every bit of the pain? Seneca, who suffered the loss of his own child, wrote movingly about grief. He did not advocate for hiding one's sorrow, but for embracing it as a natural and necessary process. Light griefs are loquacious. The great are dumb, he observed, noting that true sorrow often goes beyond words. To smile in the face of such profound emotion is to deny the depth of your experience, an attempt to rush through something that deserves to be felt in its entirety. Imagine attending a funeral, a place where the weight of loss is palpable. You might see people smiling through their tears, trying to comfort others, or attempting to appear strong. But there is no shame in not smiling, and letting your expression match the gravity of the moment. Grief does not need to be hidden. It is not a weakness to be corrected, but a reflection of the love you have felt and the significance of what you have lost. The Stoics were not cold, unfeeling beings, but deeply aware of the human experience. They did not advocate for the suppression of emotions, for the mastery of them. This means allowing yourself to grieve fully, without the performative gestures society often expects. Marcus Aurelius, who endured the loss of many loved ones, frequently reminded himself of the impermanence of life, not as a means to suppress his emotions, but as a way to honor the fleeting nature of existence. In times of grief, your lack of a smile is not a failure. It is an honest acknowledgement of your pain. It says that you are present in the moment, that you are not running from your emotions, and that you are honoring your loss in the most truthful way you can. Remember, wisdom seekers, that grief is not a battle to be won, but a journey to be traveled. It does not require you to smile, to hide, or to pretend. Your strength lies in your willingness to feel, to mourn, and to remember. Let your expression be a true reflection of your heart, unburdened by the expectations of others. Final thoughts. Power of not smiling. To smile or not to smile, that is often the question. But as we have explored, there are times when a smile is not just unnecessary, but counterproductive. In moments of confrontation, manipulation, serious discussion, criticism, mockery, and grief, a smile can betray your true self. It can signal acquiescence, weakness, or discomfort when what you truly need is composure, strength, and authenticity. Stoics teach us that our greatest power lies in our response to the world. By not smiling when it doesn't serve us, we reclaim a part of that power. We become more intentional with our expressions, more aligned with our true selves, and more in control of our own narrative. So the next time you find yourself in a situation where a smile feels like a shield, remember, you don't owe the world your smile. Your presence, your calm, and your authentic self are more than enough. Keep seeking wisdom, and let your true expression be your greatest strength.